ahead.
Before this. Okay. So back to where we left off. Let's see if my pregnant brain can handle this one. I'm going to jump back to my notebook thing. I started talking about my notebook and what I started doing through this book that I was reading, the book, What to Say When You Talk to Yourself. I'm assuming Jen showed y'all. So what I started doing every day, and I still do this, if I had a negative thought, I'd go write it down and I'd write the exact opposite down. Then I would say that to myself 10 or 20 times a day. And every evening I would spend 20 minutes an evening just talk about my team, just how amazing we're doing, how my team's exploding, and all my amazing rock stars, because I have amazing level ones. They work hard, and it was just my negative attitude that was passing on over to my team that was affecting them. And I went far. I went change the name in my group and everything. Like there you go. Can you hear me, Jennifer? I feel like I'm completely cut off here.
Yeah, I can hear you perfectly fine.
Okay. All right. So where was I at? Oh yeah, I went change the name in my team. I changed my attitude, and it started passing on over to my children. I wasn't even telling my children what I was doing, and all of a sudden I started noticing a difference in them. They would do something or say something negative about themselves or about what they were doing. They'd say, "That's not right. I'm not going to get very far." Like my oldest would say, "I'm not going to be good at this if I'm going to always tell myself I'm not good at this," and things like that. So it was really, really cute to see just how he was catching on to my attitude change. And I'm sure I was saying things that he caught on that it's just not good to drag yourself down with negative thoughts all day long. So this notebook thing really helped me. I love writing, so that's my thing. I love scribbling all day if I can while I have spare time. So I spent it wisely. I decided, since I like writing, I'm going to write down positive things. So every morning I refresh my affirmations. I affirm to myself that I am a diamond. I affirm to myself that I'm a good mom, that I'm an organized person. And the more I tell myself this, I start acting it. And that is the cool thing. I started seeing that. I started organizing my home, and I'm like, whoa, what's happening to me? Because I'm starting to act on my thoughts. So the more you tell yourself something, the more you're going to act on it. So even if it doesn't feel true right away, you might feel like you're lying to yourself. You're going to start acting on it. You just automatically do. And this will affect every area of your life. So this was really exciting and cool to me. And I've just seen my life, my family's life, my team completely change in the last 4 months. I'd say since January, 4 months. It's just completely changed. Our attitudes are all completely different. And I'm just excited. I'm excited to see what the next year will bring. Like, this is just really cool and exciting. So it's becoming more and more real to me. What a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So whatever you're thinking about yourself, whatever anybody ever affirmed to you or try to tell you all your life that you are and it's not true and it's a lie, you need to change that. You have the power to change that. That is exciting. We should not even be discouraged that maybe you feel like a scatterbrain. You're not capable of talking to people properly, or you're shy. You're going to tell yourself over and over, you're not going to talk to people. You're going to continue to be a scatterbrain. You start telling yourself, I'm not a scatterbrain. I can do meetings like this and be organized and be able to, I can talk. I'm not shy. Or you need to tell yourself that. And you know what? You're going to start acting on that. And it's just been really life-changing for me. And this, I think, was a big part of Phallin's story. Just seeing how her mindset, it was different than my story, but just seeing how she changed just because she started being positive and just, yeah, I love listening to her story. So I'm going to just give it over to her quick before my phone cuts off here, because I really want to hear her story and be done with mine. Phallin, I would love to hear your story. I'm going to give it over to you.
Okay. Trying to figure out how to unmute myself here. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I love what you're saying about your kids because it's so true. And my kids, they like to listen to all the audiobooks that I listen to, and that's what they do for like their quiet time while the other kids are napping. So this isn't just for Plexus ambassadors, it's for all of life. I'm going to start at the beginning of my story because that's always the best place to start. So I joined in July of 2013. And I hit sober pretty quickly. I did it in my first month, and then I hit gold. I have it wrote down here 5 months later. But as soon as I hit gold, I started losing points because my team wasn't built on a solid foundation. So for those 18 months, I was stuck at gold. I was doing some personal growth. I didn't think I needed it. But my sponsor, Lori Welch, told me that I was a negative person, and I didn't believe her. But what happened after that, after I did my growth, proves that that was definitely the missing link, because as soon as I was done with all of that, the light bulbs went off, and then I hit senior gold. Well, I re-hit gold 2 months after changing my mindset, which I'll talk about all that in a minute here. But I hit senior gold, and then right after that, I hit ruby, then senior ruby, and then emerald back to back. And then 4 months after I hit emerald, I went diamond after struggling for such a long time. So Lori told me that I was negative, and I didn't listen to her. She recommended books, and sorry, my phone's ringing. She recommended books, and I really was sick of hearing that I needed to read them. I just wanted to hit her over the head with the books because I didn't think that was my problem at all. I thought I was a happy, positive person. I was optimistic. That's why I was doing Plexus. I was doing something that most people don't do because I am optimistic, and I wanted to change my family's future. But after watching everybody pass me, they hit all these promotions, and I was still at gold. Actually, I was losing points. My points fell pretty much to zero. I decided, okay, I'm just going to read these books. So I ordered all of them at once. I read 15 Laws of Invaluable Growth by John Maxwell. That was the first one. And I was like, wow, this is really good. Okay. And I kept reading. And then I listened to the audiobook for Switch On Your Brain by Dr. Caroline Leaf. And I really, really recommend that one. And I did How to Win Friends and Influence People. That one was really life-changing because I had some people skills that I needed to learn. And as I was reading the last book that she recommended, The Magic of Thinking Big, all the light bulbs kind of went off at once, and I knew exactly what was missing. It was what I was telling myself and what I was choosing to focus on. So I'm sure you all know there's issues with the shipping and stuff right now. It's slow because the company's growing super, super fast. We got amazing back offices, and we got a whole brand new building. So that happens when your company's amazing and they're growing fast. Shipping happens. Well, when I first joined, we had website problems, and I told Lori Welch that my website was the only one that was broken, and I literally didn't know how they were all promoting because my team was going nowhere because I was negative. I complained all the time. Every little problem, every person who said, oh, I have a headache from detox, I want to quit, I just let them quit because I didn't have full belief in myself, in the products, or in the company. Now, when those kind of things happen, I know that it's not a big deal. And I tell my team, whereas before I was complaining with my team, now I tell them this isn't a big deal. This is a good problem to have. You want your company to be exploding with growth. That means we have amazing products that everyone wants. So I totally changed my mindset. I stopped telling myself that my team was a bunch of losers. I would say that before I did any sort of personal growth, I thought I had just signed up a bunch of duds. I didn't look at myself as the leader, and I was worried about what everyone else was doing wrong or what they weren't growing in instead of myself. I thought I was some amazing leader, and I didn't have any room for improvement until I read these books, and I realized that I was talking to myself negatively. I had a lot of negative things in my mind. Growing up, my mom told me I wasn't a people person, that my sister was a friendly, social, outgoing one, and I believed it. So I would tell myself, oh, you know, I'm not really good at this people part because I don't like people. And I told myself that over and over and over. I told myself that I was shy. I told myself that I didn't have time. I told myself that I had too many kids to really be successful that fast, and I just didn't have time because my husband was in the military. My husband worked a lot, whatever excuses that I could think of to have. And then after I did my personal growth, I totally, like Justina said, I changed my thinking. And instead of saying those negative things to myself, saying my team is a bunch of losers, I started telling myself that I had the fastest growing team in Plexus. And I started telling myself that everybody needs these products. Everybody loves these products. Can't remember off the top of my head the other ones I said, but I just remember saying all the time that I had the fastest growing team in Plexus. And my team isn't the absolute fastest growing team, but something changed and we're growing super fast. I remember laying in my pool and I think I hadn't even re-hit gold yet. And we had maybe 4 joins that month, but I told my girls who were working that we were amazing and we were going places and we were excited. It seems like something so small now, but we really truly believed that we were doing amazing. Whereas before I was just complaining. Even if somebody did join, I had it in the back of my mind, oh, they're not going to like the products. Oh, they're going to quit. So the only thing that changed for me was my mindset. And then what started happening was as I was speaking positively about my team, about the people on my team, about myself, my team was reflecting that. They were excited. They felt like they were somebody. They felt like they were going somewhere. So the things that you say in your mind are so, so important. Some of the other things that I did was I stopped looking at the back office because I couldn't handle it. It stressed me out to see that my points were falling or I wasn't hitting promotions. I stopped focusing on myself and what I wanted and my goals and how I needed a certain amount of money. And I totally focused on my girls and getting them to silver. When they hit silver, I was not thinking, oh, yay, it's getting me closer to gold. It wasn't even a second thought in my mind because I didn't care because I had stressed so much before about, okay, I need to hit gold, need to do this before convention or whatever. And that wasn't working. So I pretty much took everything that I was doing and reevaluated it. I looked at everyone who was successful in their business and evaluated like what were they doing versus what was I doing. I decided to get creative with where I met people online. I didn't look for excuses. I didn't say, I can never leave my house. I have too many kids. We don't have a second vehicle. I'll never meet anybody. I can't grow my market. And I started meeting people online on Facebook groups. And my primary leg now, she just hit Sapphire. I met her on Craigslist. I bought a stroller from her, but I had decided that I was going to be a diamond and I was going to talk to everybody that I met and share Plexus with them. Well, it started and stopped with Tiffany because my husband went and he was a truck driver. He was working 27 days a month and we only got to see him 3 days a month. So there I was back at home again, not able to share Plexus with anyone except people I met online. But I didn't let that stop me. And I think something else that's important for your success is knowing that you are going to be a diamond. You have to be able to see yourself on that stage in order to get there. It can't be if or maybe or I'm just going to try this. If you're just trying it, you're probably not going to succeed. You have to have full belief in yourself that you can do this. And then I talked about the excuses and not making them. That was really, really important because sometimes I would get, and even as a diamond now, sometimes you get a lot of complaints from your team, like if someone's order's not on time or someone's detoxing, you know, it kind of feels like, oh my gosh, did my whole team just quit on me today? There's just like one issue after another because I have such a huge team. And I stopped myself. Even now, I have to stop myself and say, no, my team is amazing. People are pumped. People are hitting their promotions. People are excited. People are sharing Plexus and loving these products. And it's constantly retraining your mind. If you've been negative, if you've been telling yourself this stuff for years, if you've been telling yourself, I can't lose weight, I'll never amount to anything. I'm not good at anything I do. You have to retrain it and your mind. It talks about that in Switch on Your Brain. It talks about how there's these ditches dug in your brain full of years of negative self-talk to yourself. So that is everything that I have. I don't know if Justina's still on or not.
No, I think that she got kicked off somehow again.
Okay.
But
Okay.
could you name those books off again?
Yeah. The 15 Invaluable Laws of Personal Growth or something like that. It's not on my shelf. My husband has it, by John Maxwell. And How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. I really, really recommend that one for anybody who doesn't have those people skills, or you're lacking them like I was. That book was totally life-changing. And then Switch on Your Brain by Dr. Caroline Leaf. And what was the other one? Magic of Thinking Big by Big Al Schwartz. Not Big Al, but David Schwartz.
Awesome. Okay, I'm trying to get the pictures of them loaded so we can do a slideshow of them afterwards real quick. So if you guys got a chance to write them down, then go ahead and do that. And then you said Switch on Your Brain?
Yeah, I listened to the audiobook of that one. It was really good, especially if you like to know like details and the sciencey stuff of why your mind is how it is. That was really good.
I just started watching Carolyn Leaf, and she is amazing.
Yeah.
I love her stuff. I was watching it was like a 4-part detox thing, and loved it. Very, very good. Okay, I've got those all saved. So I got those. Let's see. Yeah, we'll post those books in the event also, Kathleen. Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing your story. And for anyone that doesn't know, Phallin is a Diamond Ambassador with Plexus. When did you say you hit Diamond again?
In March 31st, end of March.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Are you planning on going double Diamond?
Oh, yeah. I'm like, I tell people I have to correct myself. I can't say it's easy, but once you get it, you get it. It's so simple. It's the same thing over and over again. It really is simple. So yeah, I can't wait to get there. I said by the end of this year, it'd be pretty cool to be.
That would be awesome. What card did you pick, by the way?
I haven't picked one.
It's hard, huh?
It is.
Are you going to pick it, or is your husband going to pick it? My husband and I keep on debating back and forth about this, and I was like, no, I'm picking it.
Well, if he were to pick it, he already picked the sports car, and he almost had me convinced until I realized I have 5 kids. That's just not smart. I think he was thinking for himself. He's going to have to get himself to Diamond.
Guys are always stuck in their boyhood.
I think so.
That's great. Well, thank you so much for sharing with us today. It was so inspiring to hear you teach. I mean, even though I went to Sonya's teaching, you were actually at the one I went to. I went to the Nashville one, and you shared your story there. So it was so good. I really enjoyed it. But I'm still like, I took notes, and then I left, and I found them today. So for the last hour before we started, I was like going over them, and I'm like, okay. But no, this is something that you have to always go over. It seems like you're always retraining yourself, but it's a must. You have to do it. So I love how you said that you are still doing that every single day. Even it makes a huge difference. And it's funny because even though I had that training when I went there, it was like all of a sudden when I went home, I'm like, okay, I can do all this stuff. And then like this past month was just so hard. And when you were talking, I'm like, I have been talking negatively to myself. And so thank you. I needed to hear this. But yeah, okay. So I will go over a little bit of some of my notes, and then I guess, are you okay with doing some questions at all at the end, or?
Yeah, that's fine. I'll mute myself while you talk.
Okay, thank you. And I'm going to get my husband to come get my baby real quick. Hold on 1 second. He just started crying. Okay, he's coming to get the baby. Sorry about that. Okay. There was just a few of the things I wanted to touch on, but the biggest thing that I really wanted to touch on was coaching. I loved how Sonya goes over coaching, but I'll go over the other stuff first. That goes along a lot with Justina, what Justina and Phallin had to say. One of the things that stuck out to me that Sonya taught about was the law of the mirror. What it is when you look at yourself, you must see value in yourself to add value to yourself. So we got to start loving ourselves. And another powerful thing that she brought up that, you know, most people wouldn't even think about. They're just like, okay, I had a flat tire. This is horrible. What am I going to do? You know, and just, you know, you totally lose focus of what you were already planning on doing and having that positive attitude. So what is your response when things don't go your way? The reason that is important is, you know, you have to ask yourself questions like, the plans that I have, were they life-threatening? Were they something that had to be done? What does have to be done? Can I do it differently in order to get it accomplished? Or do I have to do this a certain way that I did it? Can I reschedule it? You know, start thinking about those kind of things rather than, you know, oh, rats, my day is spoiled. It's horrible. Just find ways to solve it and look at it positively and see if there's something else that you can put in your day, even though it's been ruined, to make it better. You know, because obviously, you know, when there's stuff like that put in your way, there's a reason, you know. What happens if you have a flat tire and you don't have anything to fix the tire with, and the tow truck guy needs to know about Plexus, you know? There's a reason for everything. So the steps to build your self-esteem, I really loved this part. Number one was guard your self-talk, which a lot of the books that Phallin mentioned and Justina mentioned are perfect at teaching you how to do that. Two of the books that Sonya recommended was one of the ones that Phallin recommended was Switch on Your Brain, and then Past, Present, Future, and Soul Talk. That's one book. So she recommended those two books, and I'll try to get that in the slideshow at the end also. 2, stop comparing yourself to others. That is huge, especially for women, I think. We're always kind of competing with each other. I think Plexus has helped me a lot with that because it's like, it's not a competition. I am who I am. You are who you are. Let's love each other. 3, add value to other people. So if you're focusing on other people and not on yourself, then you won't be negative because you're focusing on helping, you know, so-and-so with their health and figuring out what products they need, or how to get, like Phallin said, you know, she stopped focusing on her points in her back office and started focusing on getting her team to silver. That's huge. Huge. I really love what you said about that, Phallin. Number 4, move beyond your own self-limiting beliefs. What are you telling yourself that you believe? Lately, I've personally been telling myself, when I told Phallin that I've been struggling with negative thoughts and stuff, and I didn't even realize it, but I've been telling myself, I can't hit Jewel before July 31st because my husband is more busier at work. You know, and I keep saying that to myself, and I'm like, that's negative talk. If I keep saying that, I won't, because what you say to yourself is the truth. What you're telling yourself is the truth. So change what you're telling yourself. If you change your mind, you change your success. Your mind doesn't know the difference between what you say to it and the truth. This is just my notes off of what Sonya was saying. And then what fears are holding you back? Just something to think about. When you approach someone and, or you're thinking about approaching someone, say in a Walmart parking lot, and something holds you back. What is holding you back? What fear is holding you back? And where does that stem from? Try to think about that and evaluate that for yourself and how to combat that. So for the next part, I'm going to go over it, and then I'm going to get a volunteer. So it's about coaching. What she said coaching is it's topic, goal, outcome, reality, option, way forward. So I'll say that again. Topic, goal, outcome, reality, option, and way forward. The T in topic or for topic is, okay, what do you, when you go up to someone or you're coaching one of your downlines, as long as they're willing for you to coach them, what is it that you would like to discuss? So that's what topic is. Goal is, what do you want to achieve? Outcome, what do you want out of our sessions? Reality, it's pretty much unpeeling the onion, getting to the root of what's really going on. Option, brainstorming with no judgment. Way forward, what will work that we have discussed? So a coach is not an expert. I am not an expert, and I'm about to do this with whoever's willing to do it with me, to give advice, but the power is in the process, not the coach. So I'm going to put this on gallery view, and first person to raise their hand gets to be my guinea pig. Who wants to work with me on this? Although there are some people that don't have their screens on. Is anybody willing to let me coach them? Let me see if I can unmute you guys if there's someone that. Okay, you guys are unmuted. Does anybody want to try out the coaching thing so you guys can see exactly how it goes about? If no one signs up for it, I'm going to call someone.
Total loss. Did you say that?
That is too noisy. Okay, so I'm just going to pick someone. You guys watch out. Suzanne, you want me to coach with you? Don't hate me. All right, you okay with that?
Sure, why not?
Since your sister's not here, you know.
Okay.
You can blame it on her.
No, it's all good.
Okay, so pick a topic. If you were, like if you're working with someone or a topic that you want to work with or something like that related to Plexus, of something you feel like you need help with, or you know of someone that has needed it. It doesn't have to be personal. Just pick a topic that you think's real good.
Learning how to get your team to silver.
Okay. So what we want to achieve is getting our team to silver then, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what would you like to achieve out of this session or out of the future sessions that we would have? Just being able to get everyone to silver, or getting you to a certain rank?
Well, getting all my team to silver would be the goal. Yeah, that's what I'd like.
Okay, so with everything that you're doing now with your team, where do you feel like you need help to get your team to silver? How do you think that you need to help them get there?
Oh, that's my. This is like an actual question for me. Like I've been struggling with this actually. and brainstorming, and that's why it was an actual question. um, one thing I think like I'm doing right now is I'm thinking that I could do more Zooms for them, or just coaching them or whatever.
Like one-on-one, like three-way calls and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Those are perfect. The people I have do a lot of those. Do you have a lot of team members that are willing to do those?
Well, I've asked, and I did one with one of my team members so far. So
that's wonderful. You're doing great then. So you pretty much know the answer to that, and you've unpeeled it and figured out where you need to go with that. And when you talk to someone with your three-way calls or three-way Zooms or whatnot, do you have you figured out their game plan to get to silver?
I have not. No, that's one thing. That's very good. Thanks.
Do you think that coaching would be a good way to do that, like what you and I are doing right now with them, to help them figure it out on their own? One of the things that Sonya was saying, that if they come up with it on their own, they have a better chance of actually doing it.
Yeah, you're right. That's very good. Thanks.
Don't worry. You're the first one I've ever actually worked this on, so. Okay, so do you feel like this will benefit you to getting your team to silver?
Yeah, for sure. I like just that little tip right there was like great. Yeah.
Okay. So you feel like this has been a good kind of coaching thing?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And I think like if I implement this in my team, I think it'll be great. Yeah.
Awesome. Cool. Does anybody else want to give this a shot? Or do you guys get the idea kind of how to coach your team and work through stuff like that? You pretty much, you ask questions and let them come up with their answers. So did you feel like that's what you did, Suzanne?
Yeah, you made me think, right? Like, what do I do? What would be the answer in a perfect world, in a perfect situation?
Yeah.
Right.
But it was like an eye-opener to me. I loved her coaching theology and everything, because it was like, when you talk to your children and you're trying to teach them to do something, you'll ask them questions. Okay, what do we need to do when we make cookies? How much sugar do we add? What do we need to add the sugar? You ask them questions and get them involved and get them excited, and then they learn it better. Whereas if we're just telling them to do something, it seems like they drag on. And I think that us as adults, we're the same way. If we're just telling people how to do stuff, they're not going to do it as readily as if it was their own idea.
Mm-hmm.
So that was just like huge to me with that. So, okay, well, you did awesome. Thank you so much for letting me call you out of the crowd.
Yeah, no problem. And I was going to say, I find that I think we're so ready to give answers instead of ask questions.
Yes.
I struggled with.
We want to all kind of, I feel like, especially for my personality, I want to know everything. And I want everyone to think that I know everything. And it's so hard, because when you go about that route, it's not duplicatable. And by the time you're where Phallin is and you have all the answers and your team members don't, you're not going to be able to sleep, because they're always coming to you instead of figuring it out on their own. And so this was like a huge eye-opener to me, just because I'm always like, oh, wait, I'll figure it out. And then I go and find it for people and then bring it to them, rather than, letting them find it themselves. So it was huge. Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead.
Jen, you're muted, honey child.
Sorry. Okay, I'm going to open it up to questions to Phallin, and I'm going to mute everyone. If you can't talk, just go ahead and put your questions in the chat area, and I can read them out, or if Phallin wants to, she can, and she can answer them. But yeah, we'll go ahead and get unmuted, and as someone's asking a question, I'll start muting people, or you can mute yourself if you're not the one talking. So Here we go. You guys are unmuted.
Okay, that's cool.
Anybody have any questions for Phallin?
So my question is, how often do you have team trainings, and what is the most important topic that you would consider training your newbies on?
Okay. Team trainings. We do a Zoom like this every week, and I don't just lead my team by myself. I really focus a lot on training other leaders. So I have my runners, I call them, that run things with me. There's 3 of them, and I'm training another set of 3. It just so happens to come in sets of 3. So we do trainings together, and I think, honestly, personal growth as a broad spectrum is the most important thing you can do for your team. I remember reading that Sonya Dudley said that if somebody is stuck in their business, it's because they need to do personal growth. That's like the single thing that holds people back from being a diamond. And I thought that was ridiculous at first when I heard it. And I didn't like that Sonya said it took her 30 years to go diamond. I like that it took her 10 months, and I thought I was going to do that. So I would say investing in themselves, personal growth is huge, but belief in themselves, if I could choose just one smaller scale topic, they have to have belief. They have to have unshakable belief in the products and in themselves and in the company, Plexus. Those 3 areas are the foundation for everything.
Amen. Okay, I'm opening it up again. Anybody else have any questions?
There's one in the chat. I'm reading it.
Okay. I'll mute everyone while you do that. You're unmuted again.
Okay.
Sorry.
She has someone who wants to sign up, but she still hasn't. She doesn't want to be too pushy. And what do you do when you have an ambassador who isn't interested in sharing? How do you encourage them without being pushy? Okay. I think I learned to be pushy from one of my team members, 2 of them actually. The first 2 that I signed up right after doing my personal growth, they seemed pushy to me, but I noticed they were having success. And by pushy, there's a very fine line. You have to, I would recommend reading How to Win Friends and Influence People to know when to back down. There's a very fine line. You can't make them mad and push them away, but you do need to follow up a lot and build a relationship with them. It takes time for people to join. So if someone's still not joining, what I would start doing is commenting on things on their wall, not Plexus related. Just make sure you're commenting on their posts, so all your Plexus posts and your lifestyle posts come up on their wall because you're commenting on their things. And then message them, kind of with hopes that they'll see your last 3 messages, asking them if they were ready to join or there's a sale. Say, hey, where did you get your daughter's dress? I absolutely love it. Be genuine. You have to love the dress. If you talk about how you hate dresses and then message her that, she's going to think you're a liar. So make sure you really do believe it. And I kind of like to be sneaky like that, I guess. So I'm not like coming right out and saying, hey, you ready to buy Plexus yet? And then as far as people sharing, this is we're getting ready to do a team poll in a couple weeks on this. We have a 2-step process. We sign people up, we get them loving the products, and as soon as they're loving the products, even if it's just more energy or better sleep, or even if they lost 2 pounds, whatever it is, our next goal is to get everyone sharing. We don't let people just sit there. We encourage them. We say, oh my gosh, girl, you have more energy. Do you have any idea how many people you can help? Or, wow, you haven't had McDonald's this week? That is awesome. There's so many people who are struggling to get their diet under control. You can share this on your wall and have a lot of people interested. Something like that. Also, be prepared. It's just like following up with getting people to join or buy. They're not going to right away. they're not going to start sharing right away. What happens is it still usually takes, I don't know, it seems like 3 months average. But then what happens is once you're following up with all these people who are loving their products, getting them to share, you're going to have a huge amount of people. Suddenly they all want to work the business. And I've seen this happen over and over again with my team members. Also encourage them, by saying, oh my gosh, your testimony is so awesome. Do you mind if I share that? And then tag them in that. If you have a lot of Plexus friends or just a lot of people interested in Plexus, you're probably going to get a lot of comments and they're going to be like, oh wow, people are actually interested in my story. So it builds your Plexus post and it builds them up. And then the other thing, I just lost my train of thought. It'll come back to me. Oh, we tell them that it's so simple. When we talk about sharing the business, we don't make it complicated. We just say it's so simple to do this. It's really easy. Let's get your products paid for, stuff like that. And then I think having them on your team page, if they're an ambassador who's just a wholesale ambassador, have them on your team page so that they can see the excitement. We've had so many people decide to work the business just because they see people getting joins and they might have a friend who ended up joining under someone else and they still see them. They're like, oh, wow, look, she's hitting silver. They're doing great. They get really excited by seeing how we're all promoting and how simple it looks, especially if they've done other companies. And Plexus is way different. Then they really see the vision. So
I love your ideas. I've never even thought about like sharing a customer's testimony and then tagging them to it. That is amazing. I think that would do wonders, and I'm sure it has for you. So that was like, ooh, brain open. Love it. Okay, are you okay with a couple more questions, or how's your time? Yeah,
that's fine.
Okay. Does anybody else have any questions? You guys are unmuted. Do you all have any questions?
Okay. That's a good idea, but asking for the testimony of happening there, and then people will like it, and then they might.
I think that we got everyone's questions answered. Okay. All right. Okay, there you go. Justina's back on the call. I don't know can you unmute yourself, Justina?
Someone said they had one more in the chat.
Okay. Did you see it? Let's see.
Best network marketing book. I've always recommended Rock Your Network Marketing Business. I really like that one. I think it covers the basics really well, and we actually use that if we do a live ambassador training. It really covers everything that they could possibly know. Our success guides are amazing. It's pretty much all the same stuff as in Sarah Robbins' book, Rock Your Network Marketing Business, but for Plexus. Eric Worre's really good. I think it depends who you really connect with. Millionaire by Halftime, my sponsor Lori Welch loves that book by Presley Swaggerty is his name. But Millionaire by Halftime, I need to read it. I haven't yet, but I have a girl who's about to be Emerald, and she's been using this with her level ones. And when they're kind of on the fence, you can tell they haven't drawn their line in the sand and they're not all in. She's like, okay, let's go through this book. Within like the introduction or the first chapter, their belief in network marketing is huge. So that one's really good from her, she says. I haven't read that one yet.
Sorry, I had to find the unmute button. That is awesome. I'm trying to get all these books so I can show everyone them later also. Let's see. Didn't put a space in there. That's what's wrong with that. Let me see if there's any more questions real quick so we don't keep you on here too long. Does anybody else have any more questions? You are unmuted.
Yeah, Phallin, I'm just wondering, do you go through book studies with your level ones every time somebody signs up?
No, I don't. My team has grown so fast. We've added over 50 people a month since I re-hit gold. So it's growing really crazy. But my level ones, I'm kind of like behind the scenes keeping everything together, but they're doing a lot of things that I told them to do. And they love doing these studies with their girls, but we as a team, we're going through 21 Laws of Irrefutable Laws of Leadership by John Maxwell. And I think that's so I recommend those. I don't do it with them.
Sorry, I'm having trouble muting some people. Oh, there.
There was another question. Do I feel it's easier to talk to friends or family? Friends, new friends, not old friends that were my negative self friends, but I had to make all new friends. In my family, like cousins, my mom and my sister do it. My mother-in-law's kind of trying, but everybody else, no, they aren't. Well, I shouldn't say that. My cousin did join me, and she's got all her family on board. I think it really depends on who you're close with, but for me, I didn't have like a really tight relationship with my family, so I had to make new friends and form those bonds because the old ones, they just weren't really there. And then when I tried to reestablish friendships, they thought it was just to sell in Plexus. So I had to make all new friends. And my old ones are still sitting there watching me in my Lexus, jealous or something. I don't know. They don't talk to me. But that's okay because I have all new friends and they're amazing.
That is encouraging too, just for the sheer fact that, you know, you don't have to just do this off your warm market. I mean, you're diamond and it's mostly off of new friends. That's amazing.
Yeah.
There was another question in there. Would you explain pull marketing?
I don't know what pull marketing is, but if you explain it, I could probably explain it.
Yeah. Explain what pull marketing is.
Pull marketing is pulling people to what you're saying, not pushing your products on them, but trying to pull them in so that they'll ask questions.
Yeah.
How do we do that?
Have you heard me talk about attraction marketing at all? That I call this attraction
No,
marketing.
I guess that could be the same thing.
Yeah. Well, this is actually usually when I have more time to talk, I share this is how I built my entire business. It's called branding yourself and attraction marketing. If you want books, The Law of Attraction, I've heard is really good. I haven't read it yet. It's on my growing list of books to read. But I've watched a lot of training on YouTube, and basically you want to, okay, I'll try to make this a condensed version because I train on this a lot. I would pick some people who are successful in the business. I would probably pick some diamonds because they are obviously successful in this business. And you have to go through a lot of personal growth to be a diamond. I like Celeste Gwen. Timmy Yancey is one of my new favorites. She's pretty interesting. I was stalking her today. Rebecca Davis is really sweet. She's really successful. Basically look for people who are successful and kind of do what they do because they're attracting people to them. If you're attracted to them and they're a diamond, they're doing something that attracts you. So pick 5 topics on Facebook. I do this on Facebook and most of my team does too. Pick 5 topics that interest you or make you interesting. For me, it's always been just different crunchy mama, like healthy things, make your own bread, grind your own wheat, yogurt, canning, buying food in bulk, stuff like that. Whatever makes you, you. And then start posting about those things. Pay attention to your wall. The things that don't get a lot of likes and don't get any comments, your audience doesn't want to see it. Attraction marketing is about your audience. Your Facebook isn't for you anymore. If you like to post about floods in Arizona or wherever and your audience could care less because they all live in Canada, don't post it because they don't care. So they're not going to care about your Plexus post either. You kind of have to make yourself interesting so everybody wants to be you kind of thing. Kind of like a popularity contest, I guess, but not really. And then people are going to be attracted to you. I don't have to message anybody. They all come to me. All the people that have joined my team as level 1s, and I have 80 level 1s, which isn't a lot compared to some people, but it got me to diamond. I didn't message any of them. I don't do cold messages because they come to me, but that's because I've focused a lot of time on attraction marketing. And so while you're posting, if you get a lot of likes or a lot of comments because you just had a new baby, that's a good time to post a Plexus post. So post strategically so that they do see your Plexus post. So basically attraction is just being a positive, happy person that people want to be like. And then they're going to want to do Plexus because they like you and what you're doing.
I love that. That's such great ideas. Okay, so The Laws of Attraction, that book, do you know who that's by?
I don't know who that one's by.
There's a few out there.
Yeah, I'll look and see the title. Okay. Let's see. I think there's some stuff on like YouTube about it.
Okay.
It's an older book, whichever one it is.
Yeah, when I pulled it up, there was like 10 different Laws of Attraction books.
Oh, wow. No. I think The Secret by Rhonda Byrne, I think that's one that I watched some videos on from that. You have to be careful with some of it, though, because some of it can be new agey, but just put your proper teachings and put it into perspective. Take the good stuff and leave the bad.
Okay. So it was by Rhonda.
It kind of goes back to like the positive thing too. If you're a positive person that's your life's attractive because you're happy, those same kind of people are going to come and be attracted to you. And those are the kind of people you want on your team.
Yeah. Like The Laws of Attract, or what How to Win and Influence Friends would probably be a good book for that.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I looked up John Maxwell, but it wasn't under his name. Someone put it that it was under John Maxwell, but let me look it up that way. There's one more question in there also.
Yeah, I'm reading it right now. Yeah, it's not by John Maxwell. He probably has something pretty similar. I'm sure it's great. All his books are my favorite. Homeschool moms that seem snobbish. They don't like network marketing. And how would you approach that? That's a naysayer. But if they're a homeschool mom, I mean, they're home. It's a perfect opportunity for them. They're growing stuff, making their own stuff. They really love this business once they get out of their mind that network marketing is the devil or something negative. So I think that really talking to them or building it up on your Facebook post, you have to have a rock solid belief in network marketing to start with. You have to believe, like Eric Worre says, that it's the best way. Like, you have to believe it without a doubt. And a lot of companies are switching over to network marketing. I think there's a stigma with it because people get begged to do parties. Like, will you host this party? Invite all your friends, host this party. And Plexus isn't like that. It's like, try this product. You're going to love it. Stay on it for life kind of thing. It's so different. And then share with your friends how great you're feeling. So I think I would start with your belief in network marketing and say positive things. Say that they love Plexus. They're going to want to try it. All my friends love network marketing. I would start by saying positive things. And we have dealt with some people like that are pretty difficult, but they are the best people to get on board once they get on board. So you're kind of going to have to prove to them that you're able to be successful in it. So I would go for the easier people. Don't go for the difficult people right now. The difficult people, they will come around after they're seeing your success. If they don't believe network marketing can work, post diamond documentaries, post testimonies of other homeschool moms. Brenda Martin, she's a good one. I mean, Lori Welch, Amber Miller, myself, there's a lot of them.
Wonderful. That is awesome. Yeah, it's also like, you know, if someone's really critical like that, where they don't think it works, it's just a matter of time. Like, I know I've been in Plexus for 2 years, and now all the ones that I was like, they are not going to do this, and they said no to me, they're coming out of the woodworks. Okay, tell me about this more. And it's just a matter of them watching and just, you know, you not hounding them, but showing them that they're wrong. Does anybody else have any more questions for Phallin? I'm going to let you just raise your hand, and I'll unmute you if you raise it, or you can put a question in the chat area just to help with the noise so people don't hurt their ears. Let's see. I don't see any hands being raised. Well, I think that, oh, there's another comment in there. Hold on one second.
Yes, anybody can do it. I remember sitting in the audience, and they said, there was a diamond up there at convention last year, and she said that the only reason someone wouldn't be a diamond is if they quit. So no matter how long it takes you to struggle and grow through anything, it's going to make you a better wife, mom, sister, friend, whatever, and it's going to be worth it in the end for Plexus too. So
yeah,
definitely do it.
I know there's one emerald that it took her 3 years to get to emerald, but then it's like, when you think about it, it takes most people 4 years to get a college degree and then 2 years to actually find a job, and that job is the lowest paying job compared to most senior golds in Plexus. So yeah, it'd be stupid not to do Plexus. Any other questions, you guys? I think we're good. Thank you so much for joining us, Phallin. We really appreciated your wisdom and knowledge and your time. I know that you probably are a very busy woman, so we really appreciate you coming on here and just sharing with us and your expertise. I mean, I know that I've learned a lot, so I'm sure everyone else has learned a lot too. So thank you so much.
Thank you, and I can't get off here without saying this. The coaching calls that you were talking about, I'm in the jewel pages, I'm in the diamond pages, so they have all this stuff, and they talk about what they think made them most successful, and everyone, okay, like, I don't know, 89% of the people said coaching calls, and I have my team starting to do them, and after like 3 calls, they're like, this is amazing. They are pumped. They are like coming back saying, oh my gosh, this is life changing. And suddenly these people who were stuck at silver, or they weren't even silver, they're like posting things like it's on like Donkey Kong. And I'm like, what the heck? Where are they coming from? They're suddenly all ready to go. And it's because their coaching calls, they're just excited. They feel connected, that one-on-one stuff, and helping them answer questions, and just the weekly accountability. So definitely do coaching calls. They're amazing.
Awesome. Good to know. Okay, well, I'm going to do a screen share really quick so everyone can see the books that were mentioned in this call, or Zoom, I should say. And I'll say them for those who are on their phones who want to write them down if they didn't get them all down. So here's one, The Magic of Thinking Big, by David J. Schwartz. Millionaire by Halftime by Presley Swagarty. I can't read the small print, sorry. I need more X Factor. Okay, Self-Talks, Soul Talk is one that Sonya had mentioned, I believe, by Jennifer Rothschild. Rock Your Network Marketing Business by Sarah Robbins. Go Pro by Eric Worre. How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. Did I say that right? Switch on Your Brain by Dr. Carolyn Leaf. Besides her book here, I have not read this book yet, but I'm sure it's awesome. You guys need to look her up on YouTube. She is amazing. Watch some of her teachings on YouTube. All Bible-based, scripture-based stuff on there. It's really good. And then I think the laws of attraction is actually in the 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. So I put this one in there by John C. Maxwell. And then I know someone else put something in the chat, but I did not get that one. So I will get that one and put it in the event so you have it in there also. And I'll put all these in the event also. So there they are. Well, thank you all for joining us. And
Thank you for having me on.
Thank you, Phallin, so much. We really appreciate it. And you all have a good evening. I'll unmute everyone so they can say goodbye. Okay, you guys are unmuted.
Thank you. Good night.
Why?
Good night.
Good night.